All right, so this video I'm going to show a little bit about the Inuke software. So basically, if you have two UM1822 drivers hooked up to an Inuke 3000, you're going to want to do something like this. There's many different ways to do it, but if you have two subs, you have one input, you have an RCA to an XLR cable in the back of the Inuke 6000, you would set it at biamp 1, so you click on that. If you change it, it'll ask you. Say if you put it in stereo, you click yes, it's in stereo, but we want it in biamp 1. That's using just one XLR going into the back of your Inuke. And here's your limiter. You could set how many watts you want. The Inuke should pick up how many ohms you're sending that amp. It should automatically do that. And then of course your delay. And if you're running multiple subs, don't forget to check your phase response too. You'll gain a lot of bass, a lot of dB from that. And also here is the way I personally do it, and I think this is the right way. The front of the Inuke amp that you're not seeing here, it's actually in my rack. The front, it's an input gain. It's the signal that goes into that amplifier. So what I do is I max that out. I give it the most voltage going into the amp, and then I adjust the level right here under filter crossover, and here's your gain. You adjust this when you can play it, you can turn it up loud. You can watch the system and see when you're starting to hit the limit of the amp, or you start clipping it, it'll turn red, which is not good. So, and then another thing too, if anybody wants to do the trick where you could see the Inuke amp is only good for the high pass. Well, it'll only do 20 hertz. So if you want it to go lower, you have to do this workaround that John LTD02 on AVS came up with. So what you do is you set the high pass at 20 hertz right here. So you hit 20. Let me do that again. 20. And then make sure you hit enter. You want it set at Buttersworth. So let's set it at Buttersworth. And then you want negative 12 dB. And then you go to your EQ right there, and you want to go under the first filter. You want to set it at negative 4 dB, and then this at 20 hertz, and then make sure you have this set at HS12. It's going to look like this going across. If you want to have your high pass set lower, then you could go to maybe negative 6. I think negative 6 would give you like a 15 hertz high pass filter on that. And then also don't forget, you're using two channels. You're using two channels of this amp. So one thing you do have to check is that you go to channel B. See how it says A and B? So then again, you hit that, it highlights it, which means you engage this filter. So make sure channel A and B is set up. And then of course you have dynamic EQ. There's a whole bunch of different stuff you could play with in here. And then once you're done, just type in your preset name right there, and then right there. You type it in right there. You want to click like say 1, type in your preset name, say like put today's date, and then hit store, and then it'll come up right there. Hope this helps.